everybody, and welcome to video 10. Yes, video 10 of our Vintage Botanical Architecture series. We're using a kit called Vintage Botanical Architecture, and it's a collaboration kit between CollageType and Tatty Treasure Shop. That means you can get half of the kit at CollageType's Etsy shop, and then you can get the other half at Tatty Treasure Shop's Etsy shop. Now, don't worry, the links are going to be below, so you don't have to, I'd like you to remember that, but what I'm saying is the links are below for you. And this kit has, when you get both parts, it has about 100 pages, believe it or not. There's quite a few. I've only printed out, I think, maybe not even half of the flower pages, and then we've got tons of these beautiful architecture pages. So in video 1, 2, and 3, I think we did the cover, and now all the way to video 10, we're all the way back here in the back, and I must say this is the largest journal I've ever done. We're going to do at least one part of it. We may finish it in video 11 and have video 12 be the flip through, or depending on how it goes, we may I may do the second part off camera because it's going to be a duplicate of the first part. I can't even talk. I can't talk. We're going to be using 2 envelopes, and I've cut. These are originally ones with the points, and I've cut the points off. And I've inked them. Then we're going to be using some of the neutral papers, some of the flower papers, and some of the writing papers. Okay? And then we're also going to be using some of the I guess I was so used to seeing that 6 on there, I wasn't paying attention. And that's annoying. How can that not erase off? Okay. Anyway, and we're going to be using some of the stenciling. Now I know that you can see, I can anyway, where the stencil was in the center, but it doesn't matter because we're only going to see little parts of it, and you won't be able to notice. It's a big area. I did all around the edges, and then all of a sudden at the end I decided to do the center, so I had to put the stencil in the center. Just as a recap, we've been using these 2 stencils. We've been using this one. This is the one we did this with. Looks like stones. Then we've been using this one on the cards and writing cards and pages. And this looks like brick that's broken away, and you see the stone foundation. Both of these I got from Temu for about $1 each. I love it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is something I've never done before, and I can see it in my head how I want it to look. We'll see if we can do it. Okay, so we're not going to need this yet, and we're not going to need the back one yet, but we are going to need these and these. So let's try it with one. I thought these were the same. These were the same with the writing. Okay, what's on the other side? Who knows? Who cares? Oh, okay. Look at that. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make 2 sort of blobs, if you will, and then have the envelope flip down over it, and that way we don't have to take a full piece of paper and cover up all the stenciling on this page and basically just cut, slices in and place envelopes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this page in half Or am I going to do this part first? I want this to be even with that. Okay, and then how about this? I want it to go down to here. And then we'll look at the width when we get the height figured out. Because I want it to come out from under and I want it to come down longer, but we're going to make it in a regular shape. Do you see what I mean? So this is my plan. Almost like it landed in a puddle. So the writing goes right side up. Go figure. So I think we're going to want to ink this top corner where we have this glued on because we know where that goes. So let's ink the top, even though we're going to be cutting part of it off over here. Okay? That way we don't forget. And we are going to build them off the book, but we need the book for placement and sizing. Okay, so now let's put the envelope on. I'm a little sniffly this afternoon. This is my third video today. On a roll. That's weird. This is the factory edge. Still sticks out a little bit. That's okay though. Okay, now, if this one's going to be up here, you know, we should do the bottom one first. Because this goes to here. So that means the farthest out we can go, and we're going to cut some of this bottom off. The farthest out this can go is here. So we'll cut that off. Okay. So that's our base. Now let's take our base well, let's do this. This is the bottom. Let's put our magnets on before we forget. want to make sure that we don't cut away, you know, the area where the magnet's going to go. The other one. I definitely do not want the envelopes flapping around. So let's put the other one on the back. Now we can make sure that we don't cut that part away, because we're not going to be cutting the envelopes, except for the side pocket. And it even says right there, pocket. You know what? I'll cut this and I'll cut this with it too, and that way it'll stay the same size. There we go. Probably shouldn't do that on here. So, I like trying things I've never tried before. Trying them things I've never tried before on camera is a little bit different, I guess. Not really. Sort of like you're just here in the old craft room and we're trying stuff out to see if it will work. Don't worry about this loose corner. The paper will hold it down. Okay. We've got that inked. Let's go ahead and cut the pocket in this one before we forget. That way we've got it there already. If you do it careful enough. No, you're going to catch that no matter what. I was going to say you might be able to do it without catching that flap. But it looks like it isn't glued on very far. So you're going to catch it either way. And we should cut the other piece of paper this size. If we don't do these kind of together until we get to the papering, then we're going to be in trouble. So let's take the other piece of paper. There, cut it there. Even though they're not going to end up the same size when we attach the envelopes, I want them to be the same size to start out with. We're going to ink the top. And you want to be careful having your ink open that you don't lay the top of your book on it. Okay. Because it's easy with a book this size. Get it up here and you don't want to smear ink on the front after all this hard work. Because we've done a lot of hard work. Oh, just to show you, I finished off this page. You flip it up, and behind here I tucked this. Oops, what goes in there? And then I've tucked this in, here, and I've tucked this in, but then there's also a ginormous writing card back here, and I stenciled it just like I do with all of them. And so that's how I finished that off, and I added this small sentiment. Look deep into nature and then you will understand everything. There we go. And the magnet still holds. Alright, so we want this one to be on the opposite side. Even though the pocket's on this side. Sniffle, sniffle. This was working while laying it on its side, but now I'm getting a volcano, so we'll see. Whoops, that figures. Okay. I think I want to ink this a little bit. I inked the wrong corner. Okay. So now this one can actually go here. We're going to cut it. Okay. That was a big volcano of glue. Alright. I'm glad I saw it before it dried. Let me get it off my fingers. Now I have tissue stuck to my fingers. Okay. So now let's take each one . You know where the envelope is. I'm thinking I want to draw on the back because we want to see where our magnet is. The envelope is down to here. So let's round this with our paper rounder. We haven't put our magnet on that one yet. Let's do that. We have quite a few magnets in this, don't we? That's why you buy them 100 at a time. That was a pretty good guess. I drew that circle. Okay, put that one on the back. You know, I was looking at the settings on my recording software, and you know, sometimes there's that funny background noise occasionally in my videos, and I've never figured out what it is. Well, there's a noise reduction setting, a background noise reduction setting on my recording software. Who knew? So let's just kind of go there. And then we don't want the bottom to be flat. So we're going to go from here right around. And it's okay if we go up under the envelope on either side, as long as we've got this intact. Because remember, we're not going to be cutting the envelope. We're only going to be cutting this paper. But we do have to end up here. So that's going to be our only square. We'll do something like that. Looks puddle-like. Let's see what we got from the front. Hold it up to the light. Look into the light. Let's see how I do. Seemed oddly thick. I have to concentrate when I cut because I don't know if you notice or not, but I hold the scissors sideways because I have to see the line. I don't know, everybody else probably does that too. But you can see I'm going off the line a little bit, but that's okay. We're just making a random shape anyway. And then let's that square part off if we can. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Oops. Well, that looks nice. I like that. I like it a lot. Okay, I'm just going to fix this right here. It looks a little square. Okay, now we're going to ink it. Do you see me try to ink it from the top? The trials and tribulations of inking. Daytime soap opera. And by starting out the same size, then it kind of gives us a general area, you know, from which to work. Okay, so we've got that. We've got it inked. We're going to have to paper that. Okay. Now, let's round this corner to give us a general idea. Just to give us a little bit of bearing. And then, now this is the part that's going to show, so we don't want to cut all of that off. So we can make this shorter. Well, we want to make it not we don't want to go quite to there. We don't want that flat edge. I think that's cutting off too much. Okay. Hi Oz, what are you doing? Oz has come to visit us. He's just kind of wandering around aimlessly. Sort of like what I do when I'm not recording. Sorry if this is off camera. I'm just having to kind of hold it close enough for my reading glasses to allow me to see it more clearly. Otherwise I wouldn't be seeing the line. We'll touch that up right there when we get done. I've got a little spot right there. definitely have there we go. Back on track. I know this has got to be riveting video watching. I don't speed things up on film. I think it's annoying, personal opinion. And B, it makes me dizzy and sick to my stomach. I have one of those problems, like some video games make me sick. That flashing light problem. And I've had it ever since I was a child. When I used to ride to school on the bus, we had to ride a long way. When I was a kid, we were part of the busing program. And they bused us way out into the country. It was almost an hour to get to school. And we would be on the bus, and as you're driving, you know how the light flickers when you go behind, when there's trees on either side of the road and there's sun on one side. That would make me sick. So every day when I went to school, I had to pack saltine crackers and plain iced tea. Just plain iced tea in a thermos to keep my stomach calmed down. Okay. Look at there. Very nice. Okay. Let's get this one inked up. Now we can take this book away for a few minutes. We have Florida. All the way to Louisiana. I guess New England is actually going to get a hurricane. This is October. Well, it's September when I'm recording this, but you're watching this in October. So in September, we had, past tense, a hurricane in the Northeast. I don't get regular news. It just happened to be on the one of the morning shows, probably Morning Joe. I like that. I think that turned out fine. And we're not going to put any paper or anything on this. This is going to be our writing area. And so now we're going to need the paper for the cards. Or the envelopes, I mean. We've got our magnets on. Let's go down just a little bit more. We'll cut that first. And now we have this left for the bottom one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. We'll use this for that one. Okay, now we've got to cut, let's cut this little bit off. Okay. Try to get as many of the flowers in as I can. So many to choose from. I'm wondering if we should round the corners on the paper to match this rounded area. This seems awfully square. Well, the envelope is awfully square. Plus, you take a chance. Sometimes the rounded paper on the square envelope looks good. Sometimes it doesn't. We only have X number of these papers with the small. These are the fussy cut pages. I cut the words off, you know, where it said CollageType Tatty Treasure fussy cuts. And for those of you that are able to cut these out, I salute you. Do a great job. Can't even get my scanning cut with these. Wish I could. I would have cut some out. That's for sure. I have to wait for that air bowl to come up out of the tip. There it is. That way we know just glue is at the end and not air. Right, we want to make sure our flowers are right side up. Probably should have copied this size for the card. So I like that. Let's paper the back side. We've only got 20 minutes left. So we will I think we should do the other part. We'll do it in a shorter video, and then we'll do the flip through in video 12, I think. Well, it's just papering the front and the back of the pocket. Or I could put you on pause. That would be the better choice. I'll put you on pause and I'll paper the front and the back. And then now when you flip this up, this is going to be the bottom. And you want your text to be right way up. So you're going to want to do it this way. I'm going to mark this to be the top. Anyway, what I was going to say, before I so rudely interrupted myself, is da 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 da. I can't remember. I think this will cover the other one. It will. We don't even have to cut that. So I'll do the other one. I'll paper it off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll put them on the page. How about that? And then I'll make the cards off camera and we'll show those in the flip through. Okay. Oh, this one was the same on the front and the back. Can't lose with that. I'm waiting on that. I might as well have a drink. Can't believe I forgot what I was going to say. Well, actually, I can believe it. Believe it or not, I talk a lot. I talk to myself. I talk to my dog. I talk to my friends on chat. I have a chat that I go into 3 or 4 nights a week at least. And then I have a friend that I chat with almost all day. Take a break in the middle of the day. But probably a total of 9 hours, 3 days a week. You don't want to glue your pocket shut. So you only want to glue the bottom. And don't glue the whole back of the paper because you'll glue your pocket shut. Just glue the edges. I know how tempting it is. If you feel the urge that you need to ink or glue more, but you don't, with 65-pound paper, you really don't, then go around this right here. And then you can put as much glue as you want on here, but don't put any here. Just that little line across the top. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to put you on pause and I'm going to do the other one and then we'll be right back. Okay, so I got the other one done. Made sure to get the poppy on there and the bird of paradise. I swear I think that's what that's called. It may not be. So let's get our book out and put our blobs on. I think that worked out rather well. Okay, so now let's decide which one we want where. I think this will be fine. We got our pocket. You know, this one, we may want this one to go here because it's a little bit bigger, I think, than this one. and the tab is going to stick out. Well, then maybe that means we want it down. No, we want it up here. Okay, and so all we're going to do is glue these on, and then we'll have this page done. Make sure you don't glue your envelope, only glue the paper. You know, I really think this worked out better than I thought. Try to get down in those corners. Make sure you've got everything glued in there. Maybe put a little extra on your corners. You can slide it around a little bit if you need to. I have no idea why I picked up my pencil. And we'll get this one glued on. Whoops, sorry about that ring bang. Holding it like this seems to make the glue come out quicker. I think it gets the air out of the point. Don't glue our envelope. Up here you want to glue the envelope. Put a little bit extra in the corner. Knock that back from the edge a little bit. Then I'll make the cards off camera. I want to kind of get that back. Okay. And that's our page. All we're missing are our 2 tags. And then this page will be ready to go. This one flips up. I'll probably stencil a little bit in here. And we have this big writing area here. And then you flip this one up and you've got writing here. And then you've got your big writing area here. Okay? Alright, that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next video. That will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.